It was a busy night of basketball, including our 3 News Game of the Week, taking us out to Alice for the girls' playoffs. State-ranked Veterans Memorial out there in Coyote Country tonight. Alice, the 3 seed out of 29-5A. Vets, actually the 2 seed because they lost a coin flip with Victoria West. But here, Alice with the steal, and Kayla Escobar gonna get it here. Escobar finishing it off. The Lady Coyotes with the early lead, up as much as 8 on Vets, but the Lady Eagles storming back here. Anasia Banks with the steal, gonna take it coast to coast in stride. Then later, back to next possession, Allison Fritcher gonna get the feed from Banks and knock it down for 3. Veterans wins big in the second half, 65-48. They are on to the next round where they will face Brownsville Pace at home, 6 o'clock on Friday. How about a fellow district champion, Flower Bluff? The Lady Hornets up in Rockport tonight facing Victoria East. Here's Sophie Campbell on the fast break, putting it in. Then later, Haley Campbell, look at the full court pass. Nice to Gloria Guerin. Then later on, Jade Schroeder for 3, knocking it down. Flower Bluff wins 63-35. They will take on Brownsville Veterans Friday at 6 at A&M Kingsville. How about 8th-ranked West Oso? The Lady Bears drawing La Feria in the first round. Allison Grant knocking that one down in the third. Then later, Rebecca Brown giving the Bears a 10-point lead. West Oso wins 44-31. They take on Lavernia in round 2.